I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it!
Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world.
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over. The Chicago Bulls.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah!
There we go. Sorry, had to make a quick adjustment. Good morning. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Wherever you may be listening from, however you may be listening, through our audio networks, through our video networks, the BS3 network, YouTube, and Twitch. Good morning to y'all, and I'm not on target today. Today we're sponsored by Black Lion Security Firm, the pride of protection with the protection of pride. Also by Fanatics. Okay, there we go. Also by Fanatics. Go to officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and support the show as well as your favorite team or player. Fanatics, where sports fans shop. My guests today include the Playmaker, Darnell Solins from the Playmakers blog at the bottom of hour 2, and Stephen Box from the Play Callers Sports Network to talk all things 49ers at the bottom of hour 3. And while I'm busy adjusting everything, okay, what do I got in front of me here? Making adjustments as I go along here. Waiting on my partner to come in. And Rod Uncensored Podcast joins us. Good morning. A Pizzle joining us, I should say. Love the new background. Thank you. I'm still getting used to the oh shucks. Well, there's something in one of the corners that I can't figure out what it is yet, but I'm going to figure it out. I swear to God, I'm gonna figure this out. Waiting on my partner Cole Johnson to join me. The Playmaker is here, and I have something to send to them. So while that's going on, how was your night last night, folks? Mine was okay. I gotta reveal something that I've been struggling with, and it's something that Nurse Namastasia and I have talked about, and that's getting sleep. I had a very hard time getting to sleep last night, but I did. Eventually, I did get to sleep. I'm happy that I got to sleep. You know something I nearly did? I nearly made coffee. I did, man. I nearly made coffee this morning. Oh no, that's not it. Trying to figure out adjustments as I go along here. As I said, I'm waiting on my partner, but we got to get down to business. So let's get down to business, shall we? And we get down to business by starting with this. We start in Los Angeles, where Los Angeles Lakers star Russell Westbrook says that he is signed with a new agent. He is signed with Jeff Schwartz of Excel Sports for his representation. First of all, and I mean this jokingly, who the hell is Jeff Schwartz? Last month, Westbrook's former longtime agent, Thad Foucher of Wasserman, said he and Westbrook parted ways. Foucher cited irreconcilable differences in a statement and suggested there was no longer full alignment with Westbrook about whether the former MVP should want to remain with the Lakers for the final season of his $47 million contract. Well, he wants the money. That's easy. I'm sorry, Thad, that it cost you your job and cost you your commission with Westbrook, but in many ways, Westbrook is like LeBron, no longer chasing championships. They're chasing the money. Get your bag, get your money and all that, but I'm going to mention a word that I haven't mentioned in a while, but applies here. Whatever happened to integrity? Whatever happened to integrity? Who knows? Arizona Cardinals newly paid quarterback Kyler Murray has tested positive for COVID-19 and is expected to miss a minimum of 5 days. Murray's symptoms were minor, said head coach Cliff Kingsbury, who had just texted with Murray but hadn't talked to him since his positive test. Murray felt really poor with cold-like symptoms before taking a test. He can return to the field sooner than 5 days should he test negative. This is the only time where I will be nice and I say, please, Kyler, get well, because COVID is no joke. COVID is no joke. I had it. I beat it. But in the words of Kyler Murray, I felt really poor. I felt really, really bad. But it can be defeated. And Kyler, I hope you do. Back to the NBA. Sources are investigating the New York Knicks for tampering, for possible tampering in the signing of Jalen Brunson. Teams weren't allowed to make contact with an agent or a player to discuss a deal prior to 6 p.m. on June 30th, the opening of free agency. Brunson agreed to a 4-year, $104 million deal with the Knicks that night. Brunson has several ties to the Knicks organization. Team president Leon Rose made a series of trades following draft night to create enough cap space to sign Brunson as a prominent former player agent whose first client was Brunson's father, Rick Rose. Rose also represented Jalen Brunson at the beginning of his career. Tampering anyone? But then again, why should we be surprised that there's tampering going on? Juan Soto hit a home run in his possible Washington Nationals swan song as he took Max Scherzer deep. Soto, who walked in his other 3 plate appearances as the Nationals lost to the New York Mets 7-3, is perhaps the biggest star who could be dealt before today's trade deadline. Soto said, quote, I feel good where I'm at. I understand it's a business and they need to do whatever they need to do. I'm just another player, another employee here, like former teammate Ryan Zimmerman used to say, close quote. Which brings to mind the biggest question: where will he land? Where will Juan Soto end up? Where will Juan Soto end up? And how will we do this thing with the Major League Baseball free agency? As my partner now joins me. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
You know, I nearly made coffee this morning. I nearly gave into the temptation.
Oh, you must have had a very short night.
Very short. Anytime I get less than 5 hours sleep, first thing across my brain, coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And my alarm went off at 6 this morning. You ever have one of those short nights of sleep and then your alarm goes off and you just go, oh, hell. I don't need to ask that question often. Let's recap the whip around. So the Knicks are being investigated for tampering. Russell Westbrook is signed with a new agent. Lord only knows why. And Kyler Murray tests positive for COVID.
Well, at least he doesn't have to
in the study. Sorry.
Yeah. At least he doesn't have to be contractually obligated to do the 4 hours a week of study. To see this, you have to look at the positive in these news stories.
Like his test, right?
Nice one. Like his test.
That's a touche. I know. And as far as Mr. Westbrook goes, nobody should represent him. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more.
Wow.
I'm in the mood.
See the problem though with that
he's tied to he's tied to LeBron.
Well, that too, but you know, he is a guy who he has done something no other NBA player has done in the 75 now 76-year history of the league, and that is give you not one, not two, but 3 season triple doubles.
Okay. My follow-up question is, how did those seasons end?
Let me see. First round L, and let me think real hard. Oh yeah, first round L. And if I'm not mistaken, I think all of them were 4-1. 4-1.
The only one that was a 4-2 was to Utah.
That's what's
in Utah.
That's right. Yeah, 2 on 4-1, 2 on 4-1. The other was 4-2. Yeah.
And to think Russell Westbrook thought he was all of that. Can I get a little Red Fox?
Oh yes, definitely. Red. Yeah, Russell Westbrook thinks he's all that, man. What do you have to say about that?
Bitch, please.
Thank you. I needed that. And of course, the chats along with this in the Fanatics feedback zone. Cow tide, more like hog tide. Anybody that plays. Okay. This is from me, and you can open it.
Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. And it goes a quote.
Anybody that plays with LeBron James or has played with LeBron James is not only cow-tied, but hog-tied and will remain that way, and no championships will cross their mantle.
Close quote. Oh, Lord, now the floodgates have opened.
Not yet, they haven't.
We ain't starting nothing. I'm sorry.
Listen, as we have contractually explained to people, I told you I'm in a mood. I may still go make coffee this morning, even though I got like 2 bottles of water here next to me.
What are you going to smell the fumes from it?
I don't know what the hell I'm doing this morning. I don't know what the hell I'm doing this morning. But oh, here we go.
I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Rod Uncensored.
Wait.
LeBron James will be Finals MVP and MVP this season. Should I fair use? Should I ask somebody of a distinguished character
Hell
this
yes.
question? Okay. Will LeBron James be the 2023 Finals MVP and regular season MVP?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Listen.
He won't even play enough games to qualify for a scoring title. Oops.
Oh, you mean like he did this past year?
Basically.
Oh, that's cold.
And I will tell you who the MVP will be.
I'll put it this way. If the Lakers are going to have an MVP, his name will have to be Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm. But you know that's not going to happen.
Because he sees less time in the court than does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in order for them to go where they would like to go, yeah, Mr. Davis will need to have at least 75 games on the floor healthy. And if he can give them that, I'd see the Lakers go far, but that's a huge, big IF.
Big old if. That's a big old if. And it ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry, Anthony Davis is Mr. Glass.
And I hate to say that and think it.
I hate saying it and I hate thinking it. I saw the kid play in Chicago.
Because I love his game a lot.
Solid. He was solid in Chicago, and he was solid for his 1 year at Kentucky. But then he got to the NBA, has yet to play a full 82-game season. And I hate that for him. He forced his way out of New Orleans to play with LeBron. Damn it. Excuse me. The hell with it.
Oh, you're not going to scribble endlessly?
I'm not scribbling today. I'm not scribbling today.
Oh,
I told you I'm in a mood.
He says, I will screw it.
Hell with it. I believe that will conclude this whip around session. Now, I have a little I'll have a little statement before I toss it to my partner here.
Yes, sir.
Actually, let me have a little fun first. So Westbrook signed with a new agent. And away we go. Now, I'm going to toss this to my partner, and I'm going to let him cook. Mr. Robert Kraft, sit your old punk ass down. Because you're on the hot seat.
Oh, my goodness. I just don't understand this.
As my partner would say to me, and I will give him the floor, cook!
Why, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, let me see. Mr. Robert Kraft, how can I put this in such delicate detail?
Oh, that's easy.
You tripping. Let me see. You're acting as though you have no brain cells. You're acting as though you have dementia. You're acting you're acting as though you have no clue as to what the young man is going through because oh yeah, you went through the exact same thing. And I don't understand why you want to come out of your mouth. Well, okay, let me set the table for you all. So, of course, Mr. Deshaun Watson, the quarterback of the Browns, the former quarterback of the Texans, was found by a cheap CBA agreed mediator and arbitrator, Sue L. Robinson. Mr. Watson was found to be suspended 6 games, and that ruling came down yesterday. Mr. Kraft decided to speak out about it. And he said the following quote, the independent arbitrator coming back with only a 6-game suspension for Deshaun Watson is frankly an embarrassment for the league. Close quote.
I'll borrow from my partner here as I interject. Mr. Robert Kraft, how can I say this succinctly? Oh yeah.
You tripping.
And Mr. I know I'm way early on this. I know I'm way early on this, but Mr. Kraft, do us all a favor, will you?
Stop the cap.
Please stop the cap. And a little bit of fair use warning. When the ruling came down, I just remember.
I don't remember asking you a thing.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it is as if you don't remember, Mr. Kraft, your trip down in Florida to Orchids of Asia. You remember that place fondly, don't you, sir? Yeah. It's the place where you get half-hour massages and it costs you almost $60. And you decided to get one of these massages. But you dipped out, got to a car, and you ended up soliciting and asking for a massage an undercover police officer. So you get arrested. You get your hand slapped by your other partners. You get a $1 million fine. But what the one thing you did not get is the 6 things that Mr. Deshaun Watson is going to get, and that's games suspended because you got 0. You were able to get your happy endings. You were able to get arrested. You were able to stain the reputation of the NFL, and you didn't miss one single snap of the Patriots anytime before, during, and after your infraction. So for you to have the temerity, the unmitigated gall, the absolute mendacity to mention anything about Deshaun Watson staining the league, that, sir, is when you need to do the 2 things.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
Look, I'm well aware you're one of the 4 most powerful owners of the NFL. You're probably one of the 10 most powerful owners in the entire professional sports landscape. I understand that. I understand that you hold within your hands not just the Patriots, but a conglomerate called Gillette. I understand that too. And I understand that you curry favor with the hip hop community. I can't tell you how many times I've seen you attempt to dance on stage with Cardi B and name drop Rick Ross and name drop Drake as to prove your quote, street cred, close quote.
He did not use that term.
Let me clue you in on something, Kraft. I was told when I was young, if you have nothing nice to say about somebody, don't say anything. I was also taught that, you can tell somebody what they can do and know exactly how to speak into their lives. But when you turn that mirror to yourself, that advice is not so quick in coming, and it is so very hard to pick and understand what you need to do, because you will not take your own advice. Because, quite frankly, your Orchids of Asia trip in Florida, that is an embarrassment to the league. Why do we need to have a then septuagenarian have to get a massage that you probably had sex in, and that is not considered an embarrassment? That, sir, is embarrassing. But what's even more embarrassing is the fact that you seem to gloss that over in your brain, and you look at the 30 hoes that are massage therapists that Deshaun Watson has had to deal with, and settling out of court with 23 of them, and you claim that to be an embarrassment. I don't disagree with the act of being an embarrassment. The 6-game suspension that you call, and you call quote only, close quote, and quote an embarrassing, close quote. At least he spoke about that, Mr. Watson. I mean, he may not have spoken in ways that I would agree with, and he may not have spoken in ways that I think are good for his case, but he has at least addressed it. You, on the other hand, you've kept your mouth shut. But we all know you're a dirty old man. You have a white broomstick that you need to have handled. And you got the lube job in a massage parlor. That was you, Mr. Kraft, not Deshaun Watson. But I should understand that you all in this good old boys network seem to operate in ways where you're above it all, right? I mean, take, for example, one of your partners, Gerald Jones. I mean, he's tried to be on the straight and narrow as of late, but it was a time not too long ago where he would invite a blonde up his press box, his luxury box. He'll be watching the Cowboys lose yet another game in his suite. And then he will reach up the skirt of this 20 or 25-year-old woman. And oh, by the way, that's not his wife. And it was caught on TV. This is not hyperbole, Cowboys fan. That actually happened on national television. You're aligned with that, Mr. Kraft. And you gloss over it. Like I said, you want us to see the fact that you're down for the cause, and that that you got your players' backs, and that you want to take up causes like with Meek Mill, who isn't even in the city in which the team that you own reside in. Because you're in the Boston area, Meek Mill is a Philadelphian, but that is how you roll, right? Because you, again, street cred. White man down for the cause. You, sir, should not ever, EVER, exclamation point, ever speak about anybody's sexual misconduct in the rest of your life. If anybody were to be injurious of a woman, you should keep your mouth shut. Because when you open it, you've allowed us to understand how much of an idiot you really are. And I don't want to think that about you, sir. But quite frankly, you give us no other alternative and choice. Now, You may be best friends with Tom Brady, and you may be enemies with Bill Belichick. But the one thing you're a friend of is the fact that you have your own alternative facts. And the others, well, it's the truth that you want to avoid. Oh, well. It just means that you're just an old fart who simply has lost track of time and lost touch with reality, even though you try to be down for the brown. Remember organs of age, sir. And when you do, don't comment on anybody else's sexual past ever in your life. Get off my doggone hot seat, you idiot. Sick freak.
Couldn't have said it better.
Thank you, man. As soon as I saw that, it upset me.
And considering your last line.
What in the blue hell do you think you're doing, you sick freak?
All right. A break, and then Debo got paid. We were supposed to hit this yesterday, but I got sidetracked. And it is my own fault I got sidetracked because I had to deal with this guy.
Oh, Lord.
And Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning. You can support us at Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson every time you shop for fan gear or collectibles at Fanatics. Just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and click on the Fanatics logo. Then shop as planned and we'll get a commission on your sale that will help us a ton. Next time you're going to shop at Fanatics, just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and support our morning show. Thanks.
Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
He's a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time league MVP, a member of our 75th anniversary team, and for the first time ever, he's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
It's the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold hard facts every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not cuss. I will not cuss.
Lord, what triggered this now?
Hi. In 3 simple letters, Rod. Again. I think since Rod and I have become friends and he's become a brother of the network, I think it's his like little brother mentality. I'm not going to piss Snowman off today. Let me make this clear. He doesn't. We just have fun going.
It's playful banter. I get it.
It's very playful. It's very, very playful. But I open with I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not cuss because Rod sent me something.
Oh Lord.
I will just read the caption and I will edit said caption.
Okay.
From the official Undisputed fan group, there's a video post that Rod sent to me.
Okay.
And the caption reads, open the doggone thing.
Lord, no. Okay. Quote.
They don't want you to see this, but has been clutch, spelled with a K, forever.
Close quote. Before you continue. Continue,
I needed that.
Oh, no problem.
You know what?
Oh Lord. All right.
No. Okay. Rod, do this.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
Fool.
Okay.
Been clutch forever, right?
Clutch forever. Clutch forever.
You
utter
beat me to
blasphemy.
it. You beat me to it because I was ready. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. Go.
It is.
Go.
I mean, hearing the ridiculousness. Giannis lost by 30 in Game 7, and KD got swept the first round, and Embiid choking and choking, and Steph getting carried out playoffs along in this pronouncement of LeBron James being the greatest basketball player in the world. Still, the utter
read that last line.
Blasphemy.
I'll read that last line the way my partner originally read it. This is like right after I came out from under the knife and I was in the hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James is still the best player. Wait, put this damn thing up.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James is still the best basketball player in the world. That is the best impression I will ever do of you because I don't have my full voice. So but folks, when
you'd caught
like
that.
I said, when I was in hospital and I was watching, I think that was one of the few days I didn't come on from the hospital. But when that happened, and it was done to highlight a ridiculous statement of Steph Curry being carried by the Warriors.
Yeah.
And my part. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James is still the best basketball player in the world. I had my speaker on my
I didn't
phone.
think you caught that.
Come on, man. You're my partner. You're one of my best friends. Really? As you did for me, as you did for me one day when you said, I echo the words of somebody I love. Next, and you hit the transition. I definitely caught, and not only did I catch that, wife caught that, and a couple doctors caught that. Matter of fact, yes, this is truly off the rails, but I don't care. Matter of fact, one of the doctors walked up to me after he saw and heard that and said, open it.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Quote.
Why are y'all still talking about that bum?
Close quote.
Damn! This is one of my doctors who said this verbatim. Verbatim.
I love that. I now have a higher amount of respect for that doctor.
I haven't stopped laughing. I was in tears laughing when he said that.
Oh my.
Nurses were like, who? And then when you then I gotta do it again. And then when he put this up, the utter blasphemy. Giannis lost by 30 in a game 7. KD got swept in the first round. Embiid choked in front of a home crowd. Steph has been getting carried all playoffs. Jokic got bounced in the first round. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James is still the best basketball player in the world.
You know, sometimes when you hear your bit done, you don't realize how
exactly. Yes.
How perfect it sounds.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god.
That's why I cut that, and then I cut the one where you did in my honor, in the words of a brother that I love, next, and then you hit the transition.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Seriously, it's like wait. Let's go to the feedback zone.
Okay.
The Fanatics feedback zone. The nurses showed their intelligence by sarcastically
asking you. You're right, Sick. They did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. What's up, Pragmatic Prime? Thanks for joining.
Prime. What's up, brother?
AB Media 83 out of Indianapolis, Indiana, joining us this morning.
I see you
Andrew,
too, a
who wants to see the Nets return to New Jersey, which is where they should never have left in the first place. Good morning to you. Yeah, we're having fun. I'm priming the pump for tomorrow because y'all know what tomorrow is. I'm priming the pump for tomorrow with. Okay.
Yes.
You know who been clutch forever?
Right.
People actually believe.
Yes, they do. Because they're like Savannah James.
You know what? I have a question.
Yes.
Why you always lying?
You see, you have to understand. They are like Savannah James back in Game 7, 2016 World Series. Helen Martin, show 'em.
And that's a progressive field. Lord only knows what they do in the house.
Yes.
Sorry, did I say that aloud?
Yeah.
But see, and now Roger sent me another clip. Oh, I'm loaded for tomorrow. I'm loaded for tomorrow. He sent me another clip of Game 6, 2016, where LeBron blocks Steph Curry and trash talks him. Rod, you don't want me to send you the clip where Steph turned LeBron every which way but loose a year later.
The very next year.
And had him grasping for straws and swinging at air
twice
in the same play. I gotta go back. I gotta go back to this. Because there are fools that actually think, ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James is still the best basketball player in the world.
It's like the commercial that I've been running about Cold Sports with you. Man, I'm so glad it's coming back. It is a straight up praise everything LeBron does and never criticize him. And I say, you beat me to it. That's exactly what I was going to do.
I'm so glad Cold Sports is coming back. I've missed it, and I've missed you doing that show.
Oh, thank you.
To a point where Cole heard a phrase of mine that I used, and he put it in his show a few years ago, where he said, he says, as my partner Brian Snow would say, these pro whacks when we're talking about Jay-Z. Oh, and by the way, that poses a question. What has Jay-Z done for the NFL lately? I'll answer that. Nothing. Fools. This is the potluck segment brought to you by Fanatics.
Yeah, 3-card money trick. That's what the NFL.
Yep. Yeah. Did we not see this coming 3 years ago?
Did
we not see this? Look, Cole and I saw this coming. Few others came along the ride with us. And Jay-Z's going to do this, this, and this. No, he's not. Who in their right mind? Just a minute.
All right, I'll put it to you this way.
Not gonna cuss.
So the only thing of note that he has done is
a 15-minute halftime show.
Well, technically 2. And
true.
And I'm saying to myself,
the other 13 minutes were window dressing.
Yeah, and I'm saying to myself, so you have this elaborate signing of this guy coming aboard the NFL team and in the Shield offices to arrange your halftime schedule for the Super Bowl? Okay.
That particular one in Los Angeles.
Well, yeah, the one this past
because he didn't do it. He's not going to do any other ones. Guarantee it. I'm like, so you shake hands with Roger Goodell. So basically, it's just photo op opportunities and 15 minutes of a full year. And those who probably come back at me the
and say,
the shortest halftime show in a long time, folks.
And I'm sure that,
remember, look, Black Eyed Peas got 45 minutes in Dallas. Does that tell you anything? I just say I thank God I was full of beer that night.
And for those who probably come back at me and say, well, Jay-Z has business savvy and that's probably in business acumen, and he's trying to hold the NFL's feet to the fire in terms of ownership. Okay. The Denver Broncos were just up for sale. Who bought them? Case closed.
Would you repeat that? Would you repeat that retort that someone may think about Jay-Z's business acumen? Would you repeat that, please?
Jay-Z has some business acumen. That's why he's in bed with Roger Goodell. He's wanting to hold the NFL's feet to the fire in terms of ownership and representation.
And my next statement is,
and like I said, and And the Broncos being up for sale is just one of those items. Another would be, so they institute the Rooney Rule 19 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There were 3 non-Caucasian head coaches.
3.
By the time I came aboard as a full-time partner on the show, which is 6 months ago, it was 2.
Mm-hmm.
So now, in 2 different instances, how can you show me that Mr. Sean Carter, who I respect musically, his talent is absolutely phenomenal, and the fact that he risks business-wise stuff, I actually respect that too about him. But in terms of him being the being basically, I guess you could say the thermometer, or I should say the thermostat of the NFL in terms of how they are errant with non-Caucasian issues and stories, it's like a baseball analogy. 0 for 4 strikeouts.
Golden sombrero on my ass.
And that is how it has been for me when it comes to him in the NFL.
Because he didn't do this to heighten anything or bring awareness to anything. He did this for music. He did this to put one halftime show together because he ain't touching another one. Guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. Lack of black ownership. See, I say it plainly. Others say it with cloud cover. I'll say it plainly. Lack of black ownership. You want to bring awareness to that? You ain't doing a good job of it.
I mean, look, with the Broncos being up for sale because Pat Bowlen died, and he basically put the ownership in a trust, and he was not going to pass the ownership down to his children, unlike many other teams who've done so. One of them being a team that I root for. They were up for sale this past year. They were up for sale this past spring and early summer. And the only name I heard that was non-Caucasian or black was Magic Johnson. And he was part of an ownership group, pretty much like the situation he has now with the Dodgers. So he was part of an ownership group with trying to get the Broncos, but it ended up being, of course, of the Walton heir, who now will own the Broncos. So that was the only name I heard. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, sir, the Panthers were up for sale right around the time Jay-Z became partnered with the NFL too, right?
Yep, they certainly were.
I did not hear a black, a brown, a red, or a yellow, anything associated with who was going for the seriously, I mean, going for the ownership group. Now, yes, I heard Diddy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, whatever the heck he calls himself, the idiot stunner, whatever he calls himself these days. Actually say that
I like that last one, idiot stunner.
He wanted to claim that he was down for the cause, right? It's like, man, it's about time that we get black ownership in the NFL. Yes, right. Get ready, North Carolina Panthers. Fool.
What was that word again?
Fool.
Right. You for real?
If you're for the first time this morning,
Bitch, are you for real?
If you're going to purchase something, know the doggone product.
That sounded like sage advice to me. Would you repeat that again?
If you're going to purchase something, Know the product. Know that the team that is in Charlotte, North Carolina is not officially called North Carolina. They're officially called Carolina.
Carolina.
And I know it's cute and sweet, and you're in the deep South, and you see the Tar Heel blue, and you automatically assume, oh, it's like the college team.
This is P. Diddy we're talking about, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Then I have a response to him. And every person in North Carolina should say to him,
I don't remember asking you a thing.
2 teams up to be sold. One went to David Tepper. The other went to the Sam Walton heir.
Fools.
Do either one of those men have anything that resembles non-Caucasian traits? As in, is their skin darker than white or beige? No. Do they have any black interests or brown interests or red interests or yellow interests? No. So it just goes to show that the same 2 teams that are not owned by Caucasians are still the same 2 teams that are still owned by non-Caucasians. That's the Bills and the Jaguars. Besides those 2, you're still dealing with the same old septuagenarian and octogenarian and trust fund babies running teams. And Jay-Z changed none of that to this moment. August 2nd, 2022, he hasn't changed anything of that nature.
May I add something to that?
Oh, please.
And he will change none of it. The only interests he has are his own, and it's got nothing to do with sports. And P. Diddy, the same thing.
He has no motivation to change anything business-wise. No motivation to change anything.
None. This all started because I opened the floodgates, priming the pump for tomorrow. And we've just been all around a couple of mulberry bushes and back again. But then as we go into hour 2, I see that. I'm not going to read this blankety blank aloud.
Okay. Why?
Before you do I'm going to give you a few minutes. I'm going to give you 60 seconds to breathe.
Okay.
As I say, hour 2. You know what? Let me give him this. Hour 2 starts right now.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Michael Jordan against Danny Ainge. Michael on the drive across the lane. Turnaround shot. Got it! 63 for Jordan. The game is tied at 131 with 110 left. A new NBA record has been set in the Boston Garden by an all-time great. I don't care if he's only played a year and change. He ranks right up there with the all-timers.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Hour 2 presented by Fanatics, where sports fans shop. That's Cole. I'm the Snowman, and back to the ridiculousness. Jim Durham, who is my idol, even though he's long since gone, said something in that clip that no announcer ever said about him. By an all-time great. I don't care if he's only played a year and change. He ranks right up there with the all-timers. said no one about LBJ ever. Ever. Yeah. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Let's move on. I'll save the rest of my rant for tomorrow. I have to, because if I like it, I just have to. Now then, you know who the best receiver in the NFL is? And a lot of people are not going to agree with me. It's this guy.
Gets it. Samuel breaks a couple of tackles, doing it all. First down inside the 30. An amazing night continues at the end of an amazing season for Deebo Samuel. And he limps off.
Wow, but he got his job done. I mean, what toughness he's showing here, 3rd and 7, and to hand it off to Deebo Samuel, hoping that you pick up the first down. If you don't, then you're left with the decision. Do you trot out Robbie Gould? Do you try to go for it on 4th down? It was going to be a decision for Kyle.
Do I love Cooper Kupp? Yes. Do I love what Cooper Kupp has done for the Rams? Yes.
How could you not?
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Kupp rightfully voted Super Bowl MVP. Sorry, Matthew Stafford.
It was either going to be him or Aaron Donald, but yeah.
Yeah. But the best receiver in the game wears number 19.
If not the best.
Rod, this one's for you. He does a lot more than Julian Edelman ever did. Damn it.
If Deebo Samuel's not the best, he definitely is the most dangerous. And there is no disputing that.
And Deebo got paid by the 49ers, something I've said all along.
Yeah. You were saying to me that there were a lot of people who were, when the draft was happening, when we saw Deebo take a lot of the 49ers stuff off his social media, and
people bought right into it.
And you heard that negotiations between the 49ers and him broke down to the point where the two sides just simply couldn't agree. And then we started to see stories, one from the wonderful 4-letter network, saying that, oh Lord, this should make you laugh considering what has transpired in the 3+ months since. But this was actually a story back, I think it was April 24th or 25th. It was around then. And it seriously was headlined, quote, Deebo Samuel is homesick and longs to go back to South Carolina. Close quote.
I remember that.
And the article went on to say that he doesn't want to have anything to do with Silicon Valley, and that he doesn't feel like he's part of the 49er lore, and he feels as though he's not part of the team, and that he's sick of being a wide receiver / running back hybrid. And I'm not even a 49ers fan, and I said, nah, that something just doesn't sound right here. And I say that because I look back 3 months prior to then, and I'm saying to myself, this team, basically in that playoff run and the stretch drive before then, if they didn't say it out loud, they vocalized it with the play calling. We're going to ride Nick Bosa. We're going to ride George Kittle. And we're going to ride Deebo Samuel. To me, that is what that stretch drive and the playoff drive told me. So you see this, and then you see this, he's homesick and he doesn't want to have anything to do with 49ers, and he wants to play back home. He wants to be either a Falcon or a Panther. I'm saying to myself, you got to be kidding me. Really?
When I started seeing all of that, the only thing I did was laugh.
And you were quick to say, nope. Watch.
Deebo is just as big of a part of the 49ers as George Kittle. And I will get this out of the way. Yes, the 49ers made the decision to go with Trey Lance. I had a chance to sleep on it. I had a chance to think about it. I hate the decision, but that's my team and I'm all in. Let's see what all I'm going to say is let's see what the kid can do.
I pray that it doesn't bite them in the butt, but yeah.
I'm praying for that too. But then again, I got to thinking and I got to analyze. I got to doing what I do best, since people like to say to me, I don't know sports. Since Tony Romo stands like to say to me, I'm slow.
Dummies.
Since Cowboy fan in general, we're going to the Super Bowl, right? We're going to the Super Bowl, right? No.
Every offseason since 1996.
Every freaking offseason. But then I got to thinking, I got to analyzing, and I got to, playing around with some things in my mind. And then I start thinking, I hope this doesn't bite him in the ass. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got Deebo Samuel and you have this guy,
Garoppolo fires. It is caught. Still on his feet is Kittle with a big play and the stiff arm. George Kittle. Flags fly. He's down to the 30. What a run by George Kittle.
When you have that animal,
that's infectious.
At tight end,
that permeates through the whole
when
team.
you have Deebo, that first receiver in history with 1,400 receiving yards and 300 rushing yards.
Uber physical. Uber physical. Yeah.
And you're on a team that's uber physical.
Mm-hmm.
I think 1992, when Young really became I know he took over in 1991, but Montana was still there.
Yeah. Young had glimpses in 91 of what we were going to see. But yeah, 92 was the year.
That's what I'm hoping for with this. But this is all about this guy right here.
Gets it. Samuel breaks a couple of tackles, doing it all. First down inside the 30.
That run right there. That run right there.
And this is a wide receiver doing this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scary part. This is a wide receiver banging, hitting holes. When do you ever see a wide receiver run between the tackles?
Often.
If it's not Deebo Samuel.
The only thing that the 49ers need to repair is their interior offensive line.
Agreed.
That's it.
Agreed. The outside is fine.
The outside,
especially Trent Williams. Good Lord, that is.
Have you ever seen an offensive lineman?
Man.
You know what? Have you ever seen an offensive lineman in motion on a running play, and then whoever tries to come up under him gets pancaked?
I've seen it, but I've not seen it the way Trent Williams did it. Good Lord, that dude is nasty.
You have the mind of Kyle Shanahan, who needs to get out of his own damn way. I will admit it aloud.
I'll admit that too.
But still, when you have that offensive mind, and they made the decision to go with Trey, you got Deebo, you got Nick Bosa, who's going to get paid next offseason by the 49ers.
It's going to be his turn next year. Yeah.
And then I got to show it again. Fair use for all the clips I'm showing. And then you have this man.
Garoppolo fires. It is caught. Still on his feet is Kittle with a big play and the stiff arm. George Kittle. Flags fly. He's down to the 30. What a run by George
when you have all those weapons, I start thinking now, how can you go wrong? Now, I already know it's going to be about what happens on the field. I know that. Quickly to the feedback zone. Don't forget about Tyreek. I already did. Rod Uncensored, Devontae Adams, and Cooper Kupp, best wide receivers. First of all, spell it correctly. And second, Devontae Adams is not one of the best wide receivers. Sorry. And Deets, I know this part very, very well. And they paid him. More to the point, Debo's earned it with his play on the field. I was so against Trey Lance being the starter. And yeah, we still got to throw the ball to him, and they're going to throw the ball to him. He is. I'll take these off. But when you have such a weapon as Debo Samuel and George Kittle, and don't forget Elijah Mitchell, the biggest thing they have to repair on the offensive side is the interior line. That's been a problem for the 49ers for the past 2.5, 3 years. I've never made any bones about that. And we lost Laken Tomlinson to the Jets. They must fix the offensive line. That's the biggest issue. They must, absolutely must fix the offensive line. They must fix the offensive line. That's the biggest thing. That is the thing. That's what gets this running game going downhill against any and everybody. And considering the fact we're going to see a hyped up Chicago Bears team to start week 1, everybody needs to be on point. But Debo got his money. He earned the extension. And now it's really time for him to show off. Let's take a break. We got the playmaker Darnell Sollins coming at the bottom of this hour. We're going to go off the board. Snowman in the morning, back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning. You can support us at Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson every time you shop for fan gear or collectibles at Fanatics. Just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and click on the Fanatics logo. Then shop as planned and we'll get a commission on your sale that will help us a ton. Next time you're going to shop at Fanatics, just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and support our morning show. Thanks.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
program that gives you the flavor.
Washington Commanders? Really?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
That pulls no punches.
Thuggish act by a thuggish actor.
That gives you some humor.
Praise everything LeBron does and never criticize it.
If you want a show that gives you good times, then this is that show.
I am Cole Johnson, and welcome to
Cole Sports with a Z. Every Friday on Patreon, and every Saturday on YouTube, Spreaker, and all other outlets.
Owen, let's talk for a second.
Hi, Ellen. Come on in.
When you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
It'll come to you.
It won't.
We had a lot to learn about each other. A lot. Hey, that's good. Things were changing so quickly.
Uh-oh.
We didn't know what the future would hold. Any of us. I just wish you felt more at home now. But we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I am so proud to call you my son.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Okay. Dietz is trolling me, but he does bring up a very, very valid point. Welcome back to the program. Yeah, Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in the game. That's what he wanted me to say. That's what he paid me to say. No, he didn't pay me to say that. But I'm going to address this guy. First of all, Rod, who the hell is Percy Harvin? He's long gone. Who's Ty Montgomery, Cordero Patterson? What have they done lately? Not a thing. And no, Chris Dietz didn't pay me to say Cooper Kupp's the best receiver in the league. The numbers bear that out, and he's Super Bowl MVP. I will never down Cooper Kupp. I've loved him since his days at Eastern Washington. We had Vernon Adams throwing to him. Devontae Adams isn't on this list when he had 125. No, I don't like Devontae Adams. Dolphins O-line has been trashed for a decade. You're preaching to the choir. Ryan McCoffey, who joined us yesterday. Dolphins haven't won a playoff game since 2000. But to any team, as we're talking football here, the offensive line, if you expect to be an offensive juggernaut, the line is going to be the key. The offensive line is going to be the key. Got the playmaker Darnell Solins coming at the bottom of the hour. And he has a list for me. So now let's go to this. A.J. Brown. And I'm reading from USA Today. Former Tennessee Titans star A.J. Brown threw shade at his former team Sunday night after one of the league's best wideouts received a big payday. Brown tweeted, quote, "Keep believing it was me," in regards to why the Titans traded him during the draft to the Philadelphia Eagles. Samuel, DK Metcalf, and Terry McLaurin, all-star wide receivers from the 2019 draft class, received big money deals from the team that drafted them, while Brown did not. All right. Then I got a question. If you were such a big-time receiver, why'd they trade you? Why'd they get rid of you? Hell, they traded Julio Jones. Julio Jones now with the Buccaneers. Let's go to the feedback zone. That will change this season. No, it won't. Hey, Pizzle, I hate downing your Dolphins, but until I see it, I won't believe it. Cool McCain and the Eagles Elite podcast, the Eagles Elite sports football shows with us. Fly Eagles Fly.
And I forget about you, Cool.
Success in the NFL is always dependent on how the line is built on both sides of the ball, just as Bill Parcells and the New York Football Giants.
Yeah. Rode both of them to 2 rings. Yep.
And I love me some Bill Parcells.
And that's the thing.
Bill Parcells is one of the coaches that wasn't afraid to go up against Bill Walsh and challenge him. And he did it twice.
Here's the funny thing about those teams. No, those Giants teams. You heard a lot about Phil Simms. Of course, you heard the most about Lawrence Taylor. And you got an understanding as to how they were defensively. I mean, because you heard, Gary Reasons and Leonard Marshall and Harry Carson and Carl Banks. You heard about them. You heard about the defensive side. You really ever heard about the offensive side. And you never heard about the offensive line. Yet they'd find ways to ground and pound you. They'd find ways to be physical and make defenses who can get after quarterbacks basically be neutralized. Bill Parcells knew that it was about the trenches on both sides of the ball.
Drive in the Super Bowl.
That is when I became impressed with him.
They had a 19-play drive.
That is when I became impressed with him. I'm like, oh my gosh, you actually went 20 plays and milked the clock and beat a defense down. Literally beat a defense down with one possession.
Beat them into the dirt. Beat them into the dirt.
Impressed. I was impressed. But yes, you're right, Ryan. Both sides of the ball with the trenches. That's where games are won and lost.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly where both games are won and lost.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say, and I highlight this to everybody. I highlight this about all teams. The offensive line and the defensive line is gonna tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go off the board.
Joker. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Okay, and there's my question. If you liked game shows, what was the first game show that got you hooked?
Oh yeah, I think I've said this to you easily. Tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-toe.
That's not my favorite one, but that was the first one.
How can you not love tic-tac-toe?
Oh gosh.
I mean, big computer screens showing X's and O's, and they put trivia behind it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and because of it, that's still one of my favorites. Because of that.
Staying with the Joker's Wild, only they made a slot machine into a game show. And I'm like, what? I'm like, there's no way I can. And I got hooked on that.
Oh, I totally got hooked on that too.
I got hooked on tic-tac-toe.
Mm-hmm.
I got hooked on Match Game.
Oh gosh.
I wasn't supposed to understand the questions back in the late 70s and 80s, but I understood every last one of them.
Especially the ones asked to Charles Nelson Riley.
Oh my God.
Especially
Charles Nelson Riley
asked to him.
Aside of Gene Rayburn and Brett Summers, Charles Nelson Riley sold that show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And for the longest,
there you go. Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. I still watch it. I still watch those.
Oh, my grandmother and mother still watch that. Yeah.
I got a funny story. When I was living with my in-laws and before I went in for surgery, I had a day where I didn't feel good at all. I didn't feel good at all. I had slept most of the day. My medicine was kicking my ass. I came downstairs to get something to eat. And it was at that point I couldn't see anything. So I'm sitting at the kitchen island. Wheel of Fortune is on.
Right.
And my mother-in-law and my wife, they both look at me. And say, "We know you can solve this puzzle."
Oh, that's sad.
I didn't see they were in the bonus game. They were in the bonus round.
Not
I
your
didn't
in-law
see the
too.
puzzle.
That is funny.
I didn't see the puzzle. Okay. I didn't see the puzzle. I swear to God, I didn't see the letters. I didn't see the layout. Nothing. And then all of a sudden, something clicked when my mother-in-law said, "Okay, Brian, solve the puzzle." I looked up for all of 2 seconds and I said, "Oh, that's easy. Frozen yogurt." And I put my head back down. I look back up and my mother-in-law has this look on her face. And she just said, "How?" Like, I don't know.
Not how.
My wife gives me that especially when we're watching Jeopardy, and I roll through a category. I don't even phrase it right. I just say the answer. I know that the key to Jeopardy is they give the answers, you get the questions.
Right.
Rest in power, Alex Trebek.
Definitely.
And rest in power, Art James, the original host.
Original.
Art Fleming, I beg your pardon.
Yeah,
Art
original.
Fleming, the original host of Jeopardy. We'll take care of a little business, and then we'll go back to our game show Off the Board. Speaking of business, what's up, Playmaker?
Playmaker.
What's good?
What's up, man?
Darnell Playmaker Solins in the house with us.
Man.
Our rep covering the world champion Los Angeles Rams. How
You
are
see
you,
that?
man? Good
You
to
see
see
the hat?
you.
You see the hat?
Yeah, we see you. Yeah,
That's
we
why
see
we're
you
paying.
stunting.
That's why we're paying homage.
Yeah. I'm blessed, man. Things are going in the right
Good.
direction. I'm actually happy I finally get to be on the show with Cole Johnson for once.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man.
Because
It's good to be on the show with you.
Because before Darnell would always call in, and then I brought Cole aboard. All right, man, what's the list you got for me? What list you got for me?
Well, I'm going to, for all my real football fans, to the favorite side of the ball. We're talking defense.
Okay.
My top 5 defenses going into the season. Number 5.
So these are your top 5 defenses.
Top 5
going into the season.
Going into the season.
Okay.
All right.
Number 5, the Los Angeles Chargers. You cannot deny what they did in the offseason, getting Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson to go with that defense.
You can't.
True.
You can't.
I agree with that.
And
you can't do that.
Joe and Justin Herbert, love Justin Herbert. I can't wait for him to put it together. And this year might be the year he's starting to put it together.
But will his coach let him?
He was starting to put it together last year.
Yeah, he was.
So
and
I'm looking at them.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Number 4, Buffalo Bills.
No argument.
None.
You add Von Miller to that defense, and I looked at the stats from last season.
Yeah.
They didn't. You can barely move the ball on them. You can barely score on them.
Yeah. Yep. You had to be an elite offense.
Just ask the New England Patriots.
Yeah. You had to be an elite offense to stay even stand a chance to move the ball against them. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Number 3, it might surprise some people since they 3 on the list and not higher. Super Bowl defending champs, Los Angeles Rams. You bring back Aaron Donald. You still got Jalen Ramsey. Grant Gaines has stepped in, filled in that role. Ernest Jones is still continuing to progress as the other side of Leonard Floyd. You bring in one of the best middle linebackers in the game, in Bobby Wagner.
Yes,
that was a good get.
That was a
really good.
That was a wonderful get. That was a wonderful get.
Because I think one of the things that the Rams, if you really want to punch them in the mouth, and they struggle with, that was it. And so you get a middle linebacker that can plug those holes up and can bounce teams to going outside of the tackles instead of going in between them. That was a good get.
You have an all-pro at every level of that defense.
Yes.
Here's the only issue I have about the Rams defense at the moment. Who is going to be a pass rusher? I know Aaron Donald can get to the quarterback, but you can't really line Aaron Donald against a left or right tackle.
Yeah, so Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, they already made their names.
Okay.
I'm looking at Ernest Jones to continue to progress as he's been progressing. Okay. You got to spend the second half of the last season learning from Von Miller.
Yes.
While he was there.
Agreed.
So now it's his time to take that next step.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'll throw in Terrell Lewis in there. If Terrell Lewis can stay healthy, that's another one.
That's the only aspect about the Rams defense that I'm like, on. The rest, I'm with you. They're one of the best in the league, no question.
Same.
That's why they number 3 and not higher.
Yeah.
Number 2. Okay, I can take the Rams hat off
now. And you should stunt, man. They're a great team, bro.
Yeah. Number 2 on my list is the one team that's in the Bay Area. And Snowman know who I'm talking about.
I do indeed. The
San Francisco 49ers. Number 2. Nick Bosa. That front line. They linebacker core. You can argue that San Francisco might have one of the best linebacking cores in the National Football League.
Agreed.
And that secondary, they don't make it easy.
Who expected Ambry Thomas to come along the way that he did during the second half of the season?
Right.
No one expected that out of a rookie. Ambry Thomas, second year out of Michigan.
Yeah. That was the place you were supposed to attack that 49ers squad was the secondary. And like I said, the stretch run and the playoffs, they started to shore all of that up.
Mm-hmm.
So even without Robert Saleh, who went to the Jets, 49ers defense was still among the tops, which is
DeMeco Ryans learned a lot from Robert Saleh. DeMeco Ryans is their defensive coordinator, and man,
the dude has been a bright defensive mind ever since he was a middle linebacker for the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
That dude knows defense, and he knows how to stop offenses. He knew it back then. He knows it now. No question about that.
And number 1 pains me more than saying the 49ers number 2.
And number
I'm going down to South Florida. And them Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
If they are fully healthy, remember, let's call it what it was. Last year they were beat up and injured.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if they are fully healthy,
we're here then. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. First of all, it's hard to run the ball on them.
Yeah, well, it's just about impossible to run the ball on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then if they secondary is healthy, you can just pretty much say it's hard to pass on them too, because they have some great secondary coverage in Tampa.
And you said the key thing: if they're healthy, the same can be said about any one of these top 5 defenses.
And to me, they have the most. They may not have the most athletic, but they're pretty athletic. They have the most disciplined linebacking core that I think I've seen in NFL.
And you said the key word: disciplined.
Mm-hmm. They rarely that part right there. They rarely miss assignments, and how teams try to beat them, they try to overextend them because they can get to everything. And if you have them try to make all the plays and tire them out, then I've seen teams actually try to do things such as go deep on them, like your champion Rams do, playmaker. And
it helps when you have a quarterback that can get it down now.
Yeah.
And it also helps when you have the best receiver in the game in Cooper Kupp, who caught 145 last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was a hell of a. I would say this because y'all talked about Deebo Samuel, and trust me, I was mad when he inked that deal. I was mad. But I would say this: I'm with Cole. Deebo Samuel might not be the best receiver in the game, but he's the most electrifying and dangerous receiver in the game.
Yeah.
Question. Yes, sir.
I listened to an episode of Ramley talking. If y'all haven't, you want some great coverage of the Los Angeles Rams? Check out.
I hope it wasn't one when we lost to y'all.
Week 8. It was week 18. I got to bring that up.
Yeah.
Well, I got a chance to listen to it because I was sick. I had COVID at the time.
The episode that I went straight off.
He did.
I completely lost it.
It's a funny episode.
So you didn't get a chance to gloat 4 weeks later?
No, and that's the crazy thing about it. And Snowman will tell you, when we won the Super Bowl, he didn't hardly hear from me.
Right.
Hey, this is all I need right here. We Super Bowl champions. That's all I need.
Which is true. You're right.
But the thing was, I know what episode he's talking about. I sat here and said
it was after week 8. It was after week 18 And the line that got me. Now, remember, I have COVID. I had COVID at the time. I was having trouble breathing. My wife was also sick. So when I turned that on and she was listening to it, all I heard Playmaker say was Debo Sam, and I could see his teeth gritting when he said Debo Samuel got us again. My wife started laughing.
Well,
and she turned to me and said, he doesn't like Debo on the 49ers, does he? And I lost it.
Well, you could take hard Playmaker. The Cowboys fan and Packers fan said the exact same thing in consecutive weeks too.
Oh, I predicted for the Cowboys. I knew that was coming.
Look, who didn't?
I knew that was coming. Like,
who didn't? Come on, man.
And the thing, no, Cole, you want to know what the funny thing was?
What?
After that game, I was apologizing to the Cowboy fans. I'm saying, I'm sorry. I am so sorry that y'all in this position. Y'all would not be in the position if it weren't for us anyway. Because if we won, San Francisco's not in the playoffs and they not playing the Cowboys.
Right.
Exactly. Listen, Michael Irvin, Hall of Famer, said it was the worst draw.
Matchup. It was the worst matchup for him.
It was the worst matchup.
It was because the Cowboys. I'll be blunt, and I know with the BS3 Network family, Ivan, Ben, I know this is going to go straight to your heart, but this isn't trash talking. You know, I'm speaking real.
This is truth we're telling here.
The Cowboys, I'll even say still are, but definitely January, they were a finesse team. They were straight finesse. You can't be finesse going up against a bully like the 49ers because they will punch you in the mouth. They will punch you in the mouth. And then, they'll pick you up and punch you in the mouth again. And that's exactly what happened.
And that's what I talked about on Ramley Talk. And I said, the only way we're going to get to the Super Bowl, we got to defeat that team in Northern California. And look what happened. What we had to go through to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. You know what?
That team.
That NFC Championship game.
That game was one of the best ones.
In SoFi, I will say, I will look in this camera, Playmaker, and I will say, let's do it again. No matter where it is, whether if it's in Santa Clara,
I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do it again.
Let's do it again.
I don't want to do it again. Remember,
why not?
It took us to the NFC Championship game to finally beat y'all. Y'all have beaten us 3 straight regular seasons.
But the thing is though.
But you beat us when it count. I got a buddy up in Canada. I got a buddy up in Saskatchewan, Max Ritz, who's going to come on the show in about a week. He feels the same way. I still say it's one of the best NFC Championship games I've watched in a long time.
I would say this too. Shut the 49ers out in the fourth quarter. That was nothing but determination.
Yes, it was.
That's. I'm glad I actually have you here, Playmaker. The one thing that I want to actually say to you, man. I could talk about many different defensive players in the league. There isn't one that comes close to number 99
Aaron Donald.
In the blue and the yellow. There isn't one.
Man,
Aaron Donald is a doggone beast, and he took over the 2 biggest games you can in a season. I mean, he took
the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl.
Took it over. It was almost as if, seriously, man, it was almost as if I was watching this guy say, okay, I'll let the other 21 players have it. If it gets to the last possession and we have the lead and we get on this field of defense, I'm shutting all of this down.
And he did.
He did it against the Rams, and then 2 weeks later, he did that against the Bengals. And I'm like,
trust me, there's nobody thanking him more than Jalen Ramsey.
With the Super Bowl, no question about it.
No question there.
Because that was Jalen Ramsey, but that was one of Jalen Ramsey's worst games with the Rams. And I would, except for that touchdown, because that was just injuries on
that was messed up. That touchdown was messed up. Yeah.
I love the Playmaker's reactions, and I'm a big fan of his show Ramley Talk. I'm a fan of all of his shows, and Playmaker's gonna be with us.
I can tell you this.
Also,
opening night, we're gonna be live.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
we're
digging
gonna be we're gonna be live opening night.
So you're gonna
really?
You're gonna bring in the new year when your team is at home playing.
I'm going live, and I'm gonna have Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge, with me, and Cameron Gordon, who's also a Ram. We gonna be live.
And you know something? I'm gonna enhance that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pick it up and put it on my radio network.
I appreciate it.
I will pick it up just like I'll pick up Cole Sports and I'll put it on my radio network. Let's build this thing.
So y'all get ready. September 8th. Ramley Talk gonna be live. And
I can't wait.
Later on this month, Arch Rivals season 4 coming back.
Yes. I love Arch Rivals.
Myself, the Bear Man, the Master of Mayhem, we coming and we got it, man. We switch the show around.
I adore Arch Rivals. It's one of my favorite shows to watch. That's the playmaker Darnell Solins. He will join us all throughout football, and basketball season. Man, so we're gonna have some fun with the playmaker.
One of my favorite content creators, y'all.
Yes,
check him out.
Please check him out and check out the Playmakers blog. The playmakersblog.com is where you need to go. And Playmaker, before you go, I owe you a ton of thanks because now my affiliation with Fanatics has started and I'm building that up. I owe you a ton for that.
Hey, they keep coming. Keep coming. We end up getting WWE Shop last weekend.
Nice. Very nice.
To a more deserving person, it doesn't happen, man.
Yeah,
you deserve all of that and then some, man.
Well, we're all gonna get it. We're all gonna eat, and we're gonna eat in a way that the big networks will hate, but doggone it, we're gonna surpass them. Thank you, Playmaker. I love you, buddy. We'll do it again next week.
Thank you, Ben.
Talk to y'all later.
All right, brother.
That's the Playmaker Darnell Solins joining us here on the program. One of my favorite content creators as well. I love the stuff that he puts out.
I just love the fact that he is so down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
But he's amped about the teams that he follows.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just another thing that I love about him and Deeds and you, obviously. You know, you all have your rooting interests, but you all do not pull punches. You all actually what's
the point of pulling punches?
Yeah, this part about my team I don't like, and I'm unafraid to say it. Now I know fans of my team are. I'm not, and here's why.
Mm-hmm.
Playmaker is of that mold, and I love that about him.
And it's only guests of that ilk that I'll bring on the show. Speaking of which, I got a surprise on Thursday. Newly minted Texas Radio Hall of Famer Bill Schoenig, longtime voice of the Spurs, will join us.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's now Hall of Famer. All right.
Just confirmed. Texas Radio Hall of Fame, one of its new inductees. I just confirmed that yesterday. So yeah, Bill Schoenig is going to join us on Thursday. We'll take a break and we're going to go back off the board to what we were talking about before the Playmaker his entrance. See, I'm just going to have to bust that out. I'm just going to have to bust that out. Back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning. You can support us at Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson every time you shop for fan gear or collectibles at Fanatics. Just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and click on the Fanatics logo. Then shop as planned and we'll get a commission on your sale that will help us a ton. Next time you're going to shop at Fanatics, just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and support our morning show. Thanks.
Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
He's a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time league MVP, a member of our 75th anniversary team, and for the first time ever, he's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
It's the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff.
I do.
Anyway, welcome back to the show.
And the ID you need is official SIT Mourn. That's official SIT Mourn. With Cole Johnson, I'm the Snowman, and we're going back off the board. Why? Because we didn't get a chance to finish our off the board segment talking about game shows.
Oh, bad. I'm sorry.
Man.
Joker. I'm sorry. Late. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Anybody recognize this?
Come on now.
Who does not recognize this? I mean, if you're old school like us, then you know what game show that is. That, of course, is Match Game.
Get down.
Okay, I got another one. Anybody remember this?
Man,
can we get a little bit of Jim Perry?
40 years.
Can we get a little bit of Jim Perry? This is like when I was first starting the show, this would be one of my warm-up songs.
Oh my gosh, I haven't heard this jingle in 40 years.
That's why I'm letting it run. This, of course, is Card Sharks, 78 to 81. This is the NBC version. And of course, I gotta say fair use, but doggone it, didn't you want to? Wait a minute, let me turn this down. Didn't you want to own a deck of those big ass cards when you watch that show? You can only get the standard size. I wanted that big ass stack, but then thinking about it later in life, it presented two problems. One, where would I store them? And two, when would I use them?
Oh man. Full disclosure. So before the Playmaker came on, That jingle was in my head.
Did I climb in your head again?
Mm-hmm.
we seem to do that to each other a lot.
And what so messed up was I'm like, okay, what game show was that on? It's like Password. No, that's not Password. Pressure. No, it's definitely a Pressure Luck. It's one of those doggone game shows, and I couldn't remember the name of it, and you mentioned it. Card Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, I've not heard that
and of course,
since I was in elementary school. Man.
And this also doubled as a theme to the Alex Trebek version of Double Dare.
That's right.
Look up Double Dare 1977, folks. Alex Trebek, Canadian afro and all, and mustache, hosted that show. Now, Chris Dietz gave me a suggestion in the comments, and I will lay it out right here. Now, anybody who remembers that little red creature that would pop up and take away the money, you know what show this is from. You know what the first favorite whammy I ever had on that show was the impression they did of Michael Jackson.
Big bucks, no whammies. Why is it that every contestant it was almost as if the people who were in charge of the game, and this is Pressure Luck, it was almost the people who were in charge of that game told the contestants, you got to say big money and no whammies.
Yep.
You have to say that.
It just seemed,
and then you have to say stop when you hit the button. Like, why? Why did you coach them up to do that?
They didn't need to be coached up. They wanted to win money.
Big
doggone it.
No whammy. Stop.
If I wasn't growing up in the 80s, I'd swear I'd make a play for every game show that was out at that time. I would.
Another full disclosure moment. So, even though I know we're supposed to root for people to actually win, my favorite part was when they would hit a whammy. And you would hit, and you hit it when they hit stop. As soon as you hit a whammy, I'd love the foghorn sound. Oh. And then the cherry on the top of Sunday was whatever they had the whammies do, entertaining. But I'd always get a kick out of that. I'm like, why?
Hold on, let me. Wait a minute. Doggone it.
That's what I thought.
I thought I had that sound.
That's what I thought, man.
I thought I had that sound here. I'm looking for it.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yep. You would wait to hear that sound too.
Yep.
You would absolutely wait to hear that sound.
It's like, I know it's supposed to cheer for them, but doggone it.
You know what?
I
got something better. I don't have the whammy sound, but I got this.
Big money, no whammies. Big money now.
Okay. Of course, while we're talking game shows and while we're talking off the board, and you got to make an opening for when I do this. Whenever we do off the board, I'm leaning on your expertise to do that. Anybody who knows me or knows of me knows this is my favorite game show.
That's like asking where did Brian Snow grow up? What city did Brian Snow grow up in? Oh man, come on.
Oh,
look, the Price is Right. It's not my favorite game show, but Bob Barker is without question my favorite game show host. To me, I love Alex Trebek, and God bless you, sir.
God bless you, Alex.
And he was awesome. But man, the way Bob Barker controlled The Price is Right It was like the game show was made and tailor made and suited for him.
Didn't it seem like that though?
Yeah.
Didn't it seem that way?
Mm-hmm.
Now I gotta find something.
And then
do you think The Price is Right is in its 50th season?
Crazy. Yes, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I went back, I think 6 months ago. I went back to actually watch, I think, the very first show.
Yeah.
And it is on YouTube. It was cool to
Yes,
actually
it
see
is.
that. I was like, wow. And picture me looking at Bob Barker later on when he, to me, I'd say stole the show in Happy Gilmore. And I found that he had a sense of humor that was as great as the class that he exhibits. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's perfect. This guy's class personified. He cares about the contestants that's on the show, and he has a great sense of humor too. Like, doggone, what does he not do well?
Word.
Oh, I love this deets. I was surprised no one ever got into a fist fight when people bet $1 over the lowest bet. Same.
There you go. I was surprised no one ever got into. You know what?
I am too.
That would be the dirtiest trick ever. But I love seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved
favorite
seeing it.
Andrew asked, favorite game from Price is Right.
Too damn many.
Yeah, I would.
Too damn many. Of course, the most popular game on there is Plinko.
Oh, easily.
The most popular game on there is Plinko. All right. The most popular game on there is Plinko.
I'm sorry. When I was young, I would blank out because I would want Rod Roddy to say a brand new car every time he would do it.
And how many of y'all watching this? A Pizzle, there you go. Here's mine right here.
Golden Road. That's
one of mine. One of mine. Because I want to see them win the most expensive things they can conjure up.
Yeah.
I wanted them to win the most expensive things they can conjure up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a treat for you guys. Hey! Sam went on. Okay. Hold on a minute.
Totally agree with you, Andrew.
Oh, come on. Who's not?
And yes, Alex Trebek is number 2 for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I got so many. Richard Dawson.
Now, we all mentioned, I think the chat mentioned Family Feud.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the bag I have a Family Feud. So I think Ray Combs was probably the most pleasing guest for the show and the producers that ran it.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Harvey, I'm proud of him that he actually decided to bring his own flavor to the show, and now it's taken off under his own umbrella.
I gotta give you this. This is the original Family Feud theme.
Oh yeah, but Richard Dawson, to me, he was the original pimp on TV. How in the world would he get away with kissing women on the mouth every single time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, easily the most charming game show host I've ever seen. And I mean, I'm like, this dude, how is he able to legally get fresh with these women and not get sued?
And not get
fired. I mean, how?
And he did it for 9 years.
Yeah.
He did it for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, at the time, ABC carried Family Feud.
That's right.
How do I remember all this stuff? It was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. But yes, but I always think of, when I think of Family Feud, I always think of Richard Dawson. Before even now, Steve Harvey.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got one for you. Does the name Dick Clark mean anything to you?
Well, how many things did he not create? But of course,
there you go. Right here.
That game show, I believe, is my late great grandmother's favorite.
You know who got me hooked on the pyramid? My dad. My dad got me hooked on that. Because it's a word association game.
Yeah.
It's a simple word association game.
And
I use we use words for a living.
Yeah.
We use words for a living. And then there's American Bandstand. Thank you, Sick Diggy.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. What did Dick Clark not create? That American Bandstand, New Year's Rockin' Eve. I mean,
New Year's Rockin' Eve. Do you know what, Nick? New Year's Rockin' Eve. New Year's Rockin' Eve, man. I would get permission to stay up late to watch that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and as for the pyramid, I got the biggest kick, not just watching the game, but I got the biggest kick out of when I was listening to the Chronic album. And they decided
I know where you're going.
And Dre actually decided to make a skit out of
based off of that.
And to hear them just go dun, 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 off of a drum beat is absolutely beautiful. I loved it.
I was on a road trip to Chicago. I was on a road trip to Chicago from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard that, I nearly woke the whole bus up laughing.
It was like the $20 sack pyramid or something like that.
$20 sack pyramid.
Yeah, I'm like, oh Lord.
And then we're flipping through channels, and Dre said something like, the cable is off. And then he goes, oh, what is this? I can't say it the way they said it, but oh, wait, what's this? Now, a little bit of fair use, but here is, wait a minute. There it is.
Here it comes. It's the beginning of the
I had to give it, like I said,
television's most exciting hour of fantastic prizes.
I was a fair use.
60-minute prize is
CBS,
right.
and then
Deborah Weitzel.
Johnny Olsen.
And here it comes. It's the beginning of the 12th year of television's most exciting hour of fantastic prizes. The fabulous 60-minute prize is right. Deborah Weitzel, come on down.
There goes 3 words, Cole.
Yep.
Suzanne Young, come on down. Dolores Hightime, come on
down. Get down.
I got a question for this guy. Who didn't want to be on this show? Who didn't want to have a chance to be on the Price is Right?
And Marvin Graham, come on down.
Get
You are the
down.
first 4 contestants of The Price is Right. And now here's the star of The Price is Right.
When you were sick as a kid, you only needed a few things: some soup, some saltine crackers, some Vicks Vapor Rub, and an episode of The Price is Right. You'd be all better.
You know, when I was doing a little research on that, I did not know that show began as a half-hour show.
It did. And the original host was Bill Cullen.
Yes, and Bob Barker was not the original host. That I did know. I did know that. But I was surprised. I thought it was an hour game show from jump, and it wasn't.
1975, they extended it to an hour, and they did it for a week, and it caught on like wildfire.
Yeah, and they never changed it back.
They changed the form. They changed it. They made it a permanent change in November of 1975.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did the anniversary week. That was a full hour.
Right.
And then it caught on like gangbusters.
Mm-hmm.
And the producers was like, screw it. We'll keep it an hour.
We'll keep it an hour. Mm-hmm.
And now it's in its 50th year.
That's crazy.
50 years, man.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Chuck Woolery on the list? That's a good question.
You know,
that's a good question.
I know he did Love Connection. What other game show did he do?
Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, he did do Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah,
he did another one.
He was the original host of Wheel of Fortune.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. He was the original host of Wheel of Fortune. And then Pat Sajak took it over, and we all know how that story ended.
Yeah. That's right.
I mean, a weatherman from my hometown took over one of the most popular game shows in history.
Yeah, and now you don't associate any other person hosting that show, but Pat Sajak. Yeah,
and Vanna White,
and of course Vanna White,
and Vanna White.
Mm-hmm.
You know what someone asked me? Someone asked me who my favorite Price is Right model was. Well, I got it. Okay. Full disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
Diane.
Okay.
From the originals, Diane.
Originals. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just wanted. I have an idea for a comic convention that I'm going to hopefully attend next year with my wife. And I told Charles this, and Sick Diggy, I think I told you this. You know what I want to do as a character? I want someone to build the Price is Right doors for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know where I'm going. And then someone open them.
Mm-hmm.
I walk through them, and I walk to my wife, and Jody hands me the microphone
mm-hmm.
to start the show.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel Reynolds is cool. I like Rachel. I like Rachel. But for me, it was the original three with Janice, Diane, and Holly. And Diane was my secret crush. Couldn't do anything about it because I was a child back then, but now I gotta have an opening. Fair use once again. I gotta have an opening because Johnny Olsen was the originator. And then this guy. That would be
television's most exciting hour of fantastic prizes. The fabulous 60-minute Price is Right. Terry Miller, come on down. Ralph Dietz, come on down. Talitha White, come on down! And Lawrence Adams, come on down! You are the first four contestants on The Price is Right! And now, here is the star of The Price is Right, Bob Barker!
That was my dream job. My second dream job is to do what I'm doing now, and that's a sports announcer. My original dream job was to host The Price is Right.
Let me see if I had gotten this right. So, Mr. Barker, he became the host of The Price is Right, and he was, if I'm not mistaken, the same age I am now.
Yeah.
49.
Yep. Yeah, that would be right.
And he definitely his story to me is proof, man. You're never too late to start doing something and get notoriety and fame and
you're never too old to do
influence.
what you're never too old to pursue and do something that you love.
Yeah. He pursued it and lo and behold, now he is the
show that
host.
he did. You climbed in my I think I'm climbing in your head. The show he did before Price is Right, Truth and Consequences.
Yeah. And I heard about that game, but I never got a chance to see it, but I heard about that game. And it's funny when you think Bob Barker, you don't really think Truth and Consequences as much. And he hosted that game show for almost 20 years.
Yep.
So it's just amazing to me how you can you just fit in your niche whenever you fit into it, no matter how old, and you just take it and run. And once he became the Price is Right host, that's exactly what happened.
He took both shows and ran with it, but then when he took Price is Right and ran with it, it's like that was him.
Yeah,
that was him.
Yeah, that was the thing. You even now, and he's been off the show 15 years now. And Drew Carey's the one for job, by the way.
Yes, he is.
You see those 4 letters. You see those 4 words. Bob Barker is the only person you see alongside it. You think The Price is Right, the first thing you think of is Bob Barker.
It's Bob Barker.
Still.
To this day. All right. I got one more for you. Then we got to take a break and get back into business.
Okay.
How about this one?
There's only one way you can win and stay
Fair
in the
use
game.
again.
You must get 3 jokers. Anything that comes up other than jokers.
Now, you heard what Jack Barry said. You see the situation. This is Hal Shearer, the defending champion. He's down by $300. And of course, this is Joker's Wild, 1978.
Right.
You heard what Jack Barry said. God rest you, Jack Barry.
Yes.
You must get 3 jokers. Because at that time, the rule was the whoever's trailing gets one last spin. And if they don't, if they don't get a joker and 2 double categories, or if they don't get 3 jokers, then that's an automatic loss.
There's only one way you can win and stay in the game. You must get 3 jokers. Anything that comes up other than jokers, your glorious reign is over, and the new champion would be Adrian Carter. You feel at all lucky?
Let's hope so.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Now, you see the suit that Hal has on, right?
Yes, I do.
All I have to say is watch this.
Okay.
And that was hot fashion in 78.
How? He had to get 3 jokers. And he got 3 jokers. What? And with that in mind, I think this will effectively conclude our daily edition of Off the Board. Got to come up with an opening and closing for that. Stephen Boggs due at the bottom of the hour. And before we go to break, I started doing play-by-play when I was 23. There's an auspicious number for you.
Mm-hmm.
Howard Cosell, according to Ryan McCarthy, didn't go into broadcasting until he was in his mid-30s. You're never too old to pursue your dream, ever. Why did I want to go into broadcasting? Because of guys like this.
.411 lifetime against Trombley. The Yankees are a base hit from getting very close to tying this game. A little old single. The pitch swung on and hit in the air to deep right center. It is high. It is far. It is gone. It's a grand slam. Jason Giambi hits the bottom of the 14th. 1 out. Walk-off. Grand slam. And one of the best games you'll ever see. The Yankees rise from the dead in the bottom of the 14th and win the game 13-12. The Giambino, his proudest moment as a Yankee. They mob him at home plate in one of the wildest finishes you'll ever see.
Hit him.
And by the way, ball game over. Yankees win. Ah! Yankees win.
Now, I'm not a New York Yankee fan. I'm a White Sox fan, but I'm a radio rat.
Mm-hmm.
I have used different versions of his signature Yankees win so many times over, especially when I was with Roosevelt University in Chicago. Except you just exchange the Yankees for Lakers. I got one more for you before we go to break. I promise. Last one. Now, many people have, unless you live in New York and unless you've been to Yankee Stadium, fair use one more time, courtesy of the Yankees and WCBS at the time, and John Sterling, the fabulous radio voice of the New York Yankees. Many have only heard the Sterling Shake. Many have only heard the Sterling Shake. I found this video on YouTube where you can actually see it, and it goes like this.
A 3-1, swung on and driven down the right field line. Fair, the game is over. It's a fair ball into the corner. Benamy scores. Johnny Damon gets his 6th hit of the day, a ribby single. Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
How can you not have fun doing that? How can you not have fun doing that? All right, a break, and then we gotta get back to work. Of course, this ain't work. This is too much fun. Back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Of course, Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Yordan Alvarez.
And it's caught! Debo Samuel with the catch. Michael Jordan consents.
The Fro just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE. Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
And again, the 1-2 pitch on the way to Saunders. Swing and a fly ball deep to right field. Bautista going back to the track to the ball. Get out the rye bread and mustard, Grandma. It is grand salami time. Michael Saunders with a grand slam home run, the first of the year for the Mariners. Here in the top of the 10th inning, would you believe it? And it's now the Mariners 9 and the Blue Jays 5. Saunders' second home run and as many at-bats. Holy smokes! And the Mariners lead 9-5 on the grand slam home run off the bat of Saunders. Dave D. House, that's for you, buddy.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
Are you kidding me?
Do you believe it? It's the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts. Every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
Hey, Toe Man, they're waiting for you. This is Snowman in the Morning.
It most certainly is. And we come down the stretch. Stephen Box due at the bottom of the hour. Tomorrow we'll do a bigger deep dive into Deshaun Watson and the fallout, because there's some ugly articles out there. Very ugly. But we're going to save all that for tomorrow when we have Chris Dietz on at 8:35, and we'll have our normal Wednesday. Now, in case you haven't been with us for the entire ride, and I'm looking up in the corner and seeing we've been at double digits for viewers for
thank you for that,
the bulk of the show, and thank you to the fans for that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to the fans for that.
Yes,
because without y'all there would be no us.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Without y'all there would be no us. Now, in case you missed it earlier, I was teasing my partner.
Oh, good Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James is still the best basketball player in the world.
I envision.
How the hell did you come up with that?
All right, so I create the graphic and I put it up there and I'm looking at it. And I have the utter disdain of just looking at the whole thing. And then before I finish creating the graphic, there's a reason why I highlighted. Of course, it's all in Laker colors, obviously. The background is purple, and the other letters, the other lettering above the pronouncement of this guy still being the best basketball player in the world. The reason why I put that in white and not in gold was I then, in creation, imagined myself being a bronzexual saying that. And not only imagine myself being a bronzexual, imagine that I was a bronzexual that had wonderful oratorical skills.
Oh no.
Not a Kendrick Perkins.
Right.
So I put that up there, and then when I did the bronzexual confessions that Wednesday that corresponded with this, it just flowed. So I was like, okay, so let me announce all this stuff that I'm seeing. So, and basically, all you saw, I took immediately from different posts that I saw from that week, and that was what bronzexuals were saying. Different bronzexuals, that's what they were saying. The bottom part I typed. That came straight from me because I paraphrased others who said that, well, this all proves that 38-6. This proves he's still the best basketball player in the world. I was like, okay, I got you. So I put that in white, and I did that to subconsciously say, I want you to proclaim this as if you are pronouncing somebody to be on a throne. And to have the other, to feel like you're about to throw up when you're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the motivation behind it all.
Oratorical skills. You got to love that. All right. Let's come down the home stretch here. And I welcome one of my 49er homies to the broadcast, Mr. Stephen Box, one half of the Play Caller Sports Network and a 49er faithful. How are you, Stephen?
How's it going, man? Doing good.
Good to finally talk back to you, because it's been a while with my health situation and everything. And God, I love that hat.
Yeah, man. I wear this every chance I get, man.
As you should. as you should. All right. Your thoughts. We'll start here. Your thoughts on the Deebo Samuel deal.
So yeah, I'm happy it's finally done. That's my first thought, right? Like I don't have to hear about it anymore.
Right.
My thing is, I said since day one that I felt like either the trade request was just a ploy to get more money, or if it was legitimate, it's because we all know that the 49ers have a history of playing a little hardball at the beginning of negotiations.
Yep.
And Deebo might have taken that a little personally. So I always figured we would get here. I mean, it's not really surprising to me when it happened, because if you actually look at it, Fred Warner's contract got done like late July, August. Kittle was the same thing. So this is what the 49ers do.
And they're retaining their big pieces. And next year, it's going to be Nick Bosa's turn to be retained.
I'm thinking that's going to be like $30 million a year too, man. Just that's going to be a big one.
30 to 35 easy.
Yeah, that's
for
going to be a
what
big
he's
one.
produced for what he's produced for the 49ers.
Yeah.
And this early, especially going back to his rookie year, we knew he was a stud. But then this rookie season happened, and he just set the world on fire. So they're going to pay him. Here is what I've gone back and forth with. The 49ers have made the decision on Trey Lance, and they're going with him. Tell me what you think.
I love it, man. Here's my thoughts on this. Now, unlike a lot of 49ers fans, I actually like Jimmy. I think Jimmy's very underrated. I thought he was a very good quarterback. He definitely had his limitations, but very good quarterback, very smart quarterback. People, I think, underestimate just how good you need to be able to be to execute at that level in Kyle Shanahan's offense. The other thing is, think about it. Most of Jimmy's throws are over the middle. What do we always say is the most dangerous throws for quarterbacks to make?
Oh, across the middle.
And Jimmy consistently produced results throwing across the middle. So I think he's very underrated as a quarterback. With that being said, there are plays that Trey Lance can make physically that Jimmy was not able to make. It's going to open up the deep game. It's going to open out plays to the outside to the receivers out there, especially on the sidelines. Those are the plays that Jimmy just didn't have the arm strength to consistently make. Trey's going to be able to make those plays. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a bumpy start, but once Trey starts to get the game, once things slow down for him, which is just going to come with the reps, and he starts to understand the game the way that Jimmy understood the game, he's going to be way, way better than Jimmy ever was because of those additional physical tools. And that's how you talk about the running aspect.
I said earlier in the program, I thought about it, I prayed about it, I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I'm sold out. I'm in. Yeah. I'm in on Trey Lance. It's gonna be a bumpy road, but I go back to 1992 when Steve Young had the same bumpy road and it produced an MVP season, and 2 years later it produced a Super Bowl win. But the running game for the 49ers, especially with a healthy Elijah Mitchell, is going to be absolutely tremendous.
Yeah.
It's going to be tremendous. But the problem I see with the 49ers, and I called this out earlier in the program, and I know you have too, they got to fix that interior offensive line.
Yeah. Reports are, man, Aaron Banks is looking a lot better, which, hey, I will be the first one to tell you. I questioned that pick when we made it.
Yes.
It didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I was like, I don't understand this pick. But he's apparently slimmed down a lot, added a lot of muscle. Trent Williams has had some high praise for him so far in camp. So excited about that. I know there's a little bit of concern because of the offensive line. Lots of reports that the defensive line is basically dominating practice. But
Yes.
I want to remind people that Trent Williams was out in the beginning, just had a new baby, so congrats to him. McGlinchey just came back, right? So we were just now starting to actually see what the actual starting offensive line is going to look like. And let's not forget, this is one of the, if not the best defensive lines in football.
Yeah. Yeah. And they always bring it. That defensive line of the 49ers, they always bring it. And I'll mention a stat that has held true for 2019, 20, and 21. The team that has blitzed the least in those 3 years has been San Francisco. And yet they have always been near the top in terms of getting quarterback sacks.
Yeah.
So that front four is going to be tremendous for them.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Once they moved Armstead back inside last year, it was like that was that final piece that got that line to click. So, D'Amico Ryans, what he's doing with that defense, I'm excited we got him back for at least another year. I hope we got another guy waiting in the wings because I'm pretty sure he's going to be a head coach next year.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that too. Stephen Box at the Play Callers Play Callers Sports Network joining us, talking all things 49ers. How about the return of one Javon Kinlaw? How big is he going to be for that defensive line?
Man, he's got to be big. I won't say he's got to be just from the standpoint that we do have other guys up there. Got Kerry Hyder Jr. that came back with Seattle, had an off year, but did really well in our system the year before. I think that kind of helps a little bit with DJ Jones being gone. But yeah, Ken Law's really got to be the one to step in and take DJ Jones' place. So need him to really show out. So hopefully he's healthy, man. We did see a little bit of flashes from him his rookie year, but it was the consistency factor in him getting healthy. So hopefully he can step in and do it this year.
Yeah, consistency is going to be huge for the 49ers this year. And speaking of consistency, we got to go to the running game. And the person who's going to carry the load is going to be one Elijah Mitchell. And from the flashes I saw with Elijah Mitchell, watch out.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Mitchell obviously is going to at least start off as the lead back, right? But we saw last year, you can't ask him to carry the ball 20, 25 times a game. He's not built for that. So you need other guys to actually step up. We just drafted Davis Price, who looks like, really good potential there. So excited to see what he's going to bring to the table. Of course, Trey Sermon, who was actually drafted before Elijah Mitchell. Really need him to step up this year. And of course, we also know, speaking of the Debo contract, that he has basically agreed to still play running back sometimes. He just wanted a little extra compensation for doing so. But we now know that he will still be utilized in that role on occasion. So I think you have a good stable of backs. Of course, the question always is in that offense, how long can they stay healthy? Because it seems like we get banged up every year. And hey, let's not forget about Jeff Wilson Jr., who when he's healthy is really good.
And very versatile.
Yeah.
And very versatile, can catch the ball out of the backfield. And again, I go back to the point where we talked about earlier. It's and I know they've made some moves. The offensive line is going to be huge for San Francisco if they're going to challenge this year.
Yeah, my concern honestly is center, right? Because let's be honest, we've been able to successfully run the ball, even with some question marks on the right side of that offensive line for a couple of years now. On the left side, Aaron Banks, I'm not worried about if the center plays well because, you're playing next to Trent Williams. I would have loved for Alex Mack to came back this year, because then you're like, if you're playing between Alex Mack and Trent Williams, you can't mess up, right? You're basically golden. But that's gonna be the question. I still was kind of hoping that they were gonna go out and get JC Fretter, play for Cleveland, already familiar with Shanahan's offense, could have came in right away, wouldn't have had really that learning curve. But they're still looking at the guys on the roster, so we'll see. But that center position is my biggest concern right now, honestly.
Yeah, the center is a big concern for me, especially since we lost Alex Mack to retirement, 14-year veteran. This is one part of the playmakers. His name is Stephen Box, 49er fan and 49er insider. And I'm hoping you accept the invite to be with us all year to talk all things 49ers. And yes, I still want to do that 49er podcast with you. It's just a matter of me getting healthy, since we're talking about getting healthy. It's a matter of me getting healthy, making sure cancer stays where it is. But we are going to do this podcast this year, and it'll be on all the networks. So, Stephen, my brother, thank you very much for coming on this morning. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me.
Stephen Box joining us here on the program, talking all things 49ers. And we're just about at the end of the road here. Tomorrow is going to be crazy because we got Bronx-sexual confessions, and we got trade deadline, and we got more Bronx-sexual confessions, and we got Deshaun Watson isms, and more Bronx-sexual confessions, and stupid. I don't even have to complete the word. Stupidity of them they're Bronx-sexuals. Speaking of the stupidity of Bronx-sexuals.
Oh, Lord.
Something I see, folks, when you deal with Bronx-sexuals, you got to deal with something like this.
This. Okay, so you want to talk about this?
I'm just showing an example. Just showing some examples. You got to deal with that, and then of course you got to deal with this.
Oh yes, the truth of MJ's playoff run.
If you really want to know the truth of MJ's playoff run, then watch the entire playoff run instead of just jotting down notes, you dumbasses. Then of course you got to deal with this.
Oh yes, the 1-year anniversary of this tweet is this week. Yes, I love it.
It most certainly is. And to this tweet, I say,
"You were finished." Oh, well, allow me to retort.
Dumbasses. And to these Westbrookites, there you go, right there.
That picture never gets old.
No, it doesn't. It does not. It does not. And then sometimes you got to say to Bronx-sexuals,
I don't remember asking you a thing.
Find the lie. Oh, and since we're wrapping things up, anybody see this guy?
Oh my goodness.
We don't even want you to report him to our show. Just report him to an NBA court or something. Which is not going to happen. It just ain't going to happen.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no. What happened? Or do I want to know?
What?
Well, we're going all in on the trade deadline tomorrow. And like I said, we got the trade deadline, Deshaun Watson drama. More baseball stuff. And yes, black people do talk baseball. You're looking at two of them that do. And I mean willingly talk baseball.
Yeah, proud of it. Yes.
I mean willingly talk baseball. That's one thing that will always get on my nerve. Former station that I had the show on, you can't talk about baseball. Nobody doesn't like baseball. Bullshit.
Yeah, that's not entirely true.
Nobody likes baseball, huh? Bullshit. All right, I'm about to hit the wall. We're going to get out of here because my body is trying to shut down. And I know I got some folks waiting on, I got some things waiting on me. So we're going to go ahead and shut it down. Mr. Johnson, I will see you tomorrow.
All right.
And yes, we're going to have a ton of broad sexual confessions because Lord knows people will know it's Wednesday. And then we got folks like Rob and we got folks like Rod in the chat that'll just try to throw things against the wall and make it stick. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
then they are not big enough.
We invite you to dream big and do bigger. I'm avoiding coffee. I'm going to go back to sleep, at least for about 20 minutes. Then I'm going to edit this stuff. Anyway,
thank you for that reminder.
Out of here. Yeah, I got stuff to do, and I got to reset. I got to reset my brain.
I understand that
because it's slowly fading, like as smooth as a Michael Jordan fadeaway jumper. It's fading, and it's fading fast. So I'm going to take a power nap, and then I'm going to edit and put the last 2 podcast versions of this show up. We're out of here. See you tomorrow, folks.
Peace. Bronze Sexual Confessions Wednesday. That's what's on tap tomorrow. Until then, thank ya.
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.